Hello, hello. It's Jessica Amaladon, and yeah, I'm here. Um, very kind of just been very busy this evening, and did my best to try and get here on time. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I almost wonder if I should just say be here at 10:15 because that's so much more amenable. But it just sounds like weird in the post to say be here at 10:15. So maybe in the future I'll just say be here at 10:15. Eastern time, that is. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in for another week. Um, yeah, a lot of shifting has happened in the last week. Again, there has been so much inner change going on such a cellular level. A lot of DNA upgrades, mitochondria upgrades, uh, really clearing out the core of, we'll just say, like the darker side of our DNA that wants to be purged into purity as we are moving in further and further into our ascension, into becoming really more like our higher self and more like our God self. Hey, April, thanks for joining. Great to have you. So, yeah, like if you may have been feeling still like really more needing to rest, more tired than usual. If you are like operating on a very busy schedule right now and you're still working a lot, it might be like that you're not tapping in or tuning in to all of these things because we really do have to get still to basically pick up and assimilate all of these energies. So, um, I'd be curious to know what other people's experiences are, if they're recognizing and feeling, these more profound, I guess we'll just say, activations and gifts that keep coming and coming and coming from God and from your angels and from the sun. And we're really being activated even by all the solar rays. And I was guided yesterday to just like look at the sun a little bit through my window and just to like, without trying to be kind of a little bit careful not to like blind myself, but also at the same time really doing my best to like receive what it was offering as well. And actually in doing that, I tapped in again with the Syrian sun, which is I guess the higher dimensional sun. You can kind of see it like a ring around the normal sun. And it just sort of stands out as this bright ring. And like that's kind of like a symbol that is something that I saw very, very distinctly on the Lionsgate this past year. And that was when I was definitely working very multidimensionally. And so seeing that now again, it's like, okay, like we're back to working multidimensionally again after having moved through all of these portals and having moved through this eclipse passage. And we're already, able to tap into new earth. And this upcoming new moon that we've got coming up on the 24th, I believe, is, I think, meant to like really solidify that. And because like from, a lot of people say that is like the more like official start to the age of Aquarius. But again, like we're already, like I said, I think that we're already able to work more multidimensionally right now. Like, so, because a lot of these things have windows, and that's really only, a week and a bit away from now. So we're kind of like, in some sense, we're kind of like already there, and people are already starting to feel these shifts and these changes and the energies. And some people are really excited because of like how this is going to open up to new ideas and new innovations and technological progress and more interest in environmental issues. And but also at the same time, there's this like really big need to be operating more deeply from our hearts in a way that is very passionate, but also not as not as like, I guess we'll just say, that's my cat, not so watery emotional like things were in the age of Pisces, but because the opposite to Aquarius on the chart is Leo, it's really drawing in that like Leo fire, Leo passion, and like really bringing in that strong fire, passion energy as this sort of juxtaposition to this crisp air, like innovation energy of Aquarius, and bringing them together for like very kind of different time that um, I think if you've already done a lot of your healing work and used that end of, all this Pisces stuff where we were just purging, 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 purging. And like, it's like, how do I have all this stuff? And like looking into past lives and like purging past lives and going into our Akashic records and so on and so on. And if you've done all that, hey, Lisa, nice to have you here. If you've done all that, I think it's gonna be like, whoo, you're just gonna like feel this big shift really fast. But then I think that for other people, like I think it could go either two ways. Like some people I think will either like just like maybe not do it, like not do the work, which is running the risk of like going on a tangent of technological process without being balanced with heart. Or if they are wanting to balance all of that with heart, then in order to really dig into that like Leo fire passion energy, there's also going to be that need to kind of look at things that maybe were like missed in those past energies and kind of try and work through them a little bit more quickly to kind of like get up to speed, if you so to speak. So yeah, so that's just like a little overall general astrological energy intro. There is definitely, like I was saying, like more need than ever to kind of like stay still and to clear things out. And so, I highly recommend taking some time for yourself every single day to do some inner kind of processing and releasing. And, anyone that's more, we'll just say at like the front. I don't want to say that because there's always people that are more advanced than you on the path. But if like you're on this current big wave of people that are going through a first bigger wave of ascension, I'll just say a first bigger wave because there's been lots of people that are way ahead and already, teleporting themselves and all that jazz. It's just not the majority of people right now, but there are people that are already doing it. But if you're on this first big wave, it's really a time, like a big time of, shift into like the next stage of integrating the higher self and operating from that and hearing the soul more and really getting completely into soul alignment and starting to like tap into like more memories of who you've been in past lives, what your past life wisdom is, past life talents. And just for example, like I've had so much stuff coming through for me about my connection to different like native tribes in past lives. Hey, Julie, great to have you. And it's always like mystifies me, like every time I'm in meditation and it comes up and I'm back in like a scene, I'm in a place where I'm like working or connecting multidimensionally with some tribe or tribal activity, or even just like going back. I think a lot of it is like also going back in time and connecting with these things in the past, and or it could also be like the future in some strange way, or both. But like, even today, like connecting in with like this landscape of certain areas of North America and like really feeling like I was there before, like there was all of this civilization that we've built up here, and like, seeing these huge herds of like buffalo everywhere and like really like being there, like it was just so cool. And I'm like still kind of figuring, trying to put all this together, like, okay, like how is this going to be fully useful? But I think I have to just try and be patient. But definitely a lot of really hardcore Native American stuff has been coming up for me, which is pretty cool. And like seeing all the, the peace pipes and like just like it's so real, it's so visceral. Like it's very strong for me. And it's like it's at the point now I'm like, okay, I think I should probably like look into this further and like connect with some groups and maybe like see if they're willing to, just chat with me a bit and see if that helps bring up more stuff and like fully understand how, I think what it is about their wisdom specifically that needs to be fully honored and remembered so we can properly apply that to not only our spiritual work and like our shamanism now, because I don't think that North American lineage has been as kept as with the same level of like sanctity as like maybe other places like in Peru and like places like that haven't been as developed and westernized. So I think that there's just like some healing there that's important for our like anyone living in North America, for our spirituality living here, because it's not really, this land is really imbued with that energy. So that's really a message for anyone watching this living in North America. But I think most people watching my videos live in North America. And so yeah, it'll be cool to see how that evolves. So 11:44 on the timestamp. So I'll take that as a sign that it's time to move forward with the reading and see what this whole channel message is all about. The having some fun in the sun for everyone. So I feel like personally that has to do with just like that there's kind of like a victory. We've overcome a lot of like this darkness. Like I said, like we're really getting activated in really beneficial ways by the sun now, and more so than I think like ever before. And that is maybe like there's just time for like some sort of like a celebration and some sort of an honoring for all the work that's been done to kind of free us from all of these old paradigm attitudes and beliefs. And also, something about like when we just are like really free and like enjoying life in a very free way, that makes it easier to connect in with our bigger, broader visions. As opposed, like it's the same like with going into your Akashic records when you want to find out information. Like if you're so serious about it, you're not going to really find out that information that's going to really give you those aha moments or clarity. So, and I think that bringing in all that lightheartedness, that playfulness, that relaxation is super important for getting like these broad visions in this new like age of Aquarius that we're entering, about like what it is we really want, not just like 1 year from now or 2 years from now, but like 25 years from now, which is like, making a 25-year life plan is a big deal. But I think a lot of people are kind of getting ready to really attempt to do that in a really meaningful way, and in a way that's going to energize people to move forward with, getting the education they need or the coaching they need or the tools they need to really shine their light, and really embody that new self they want to be in this new paradigm. So the fairies called me to pull a card. Hey Victoria, thanks for joining. What do the fairies want to share with the group? And we're calling in the highest, wisest guides of everybody in the group, most benevolent and loving guides. We're calling in the highest vibrations of light. We're calling in God. We're calling in my higher self, Amala, and we're calling in the higher selves of everybody in the group. We're calling in our unified, combined hearts, and yeah, the Merkaba in each of our hearts, and we're uniting the Merkabas of all of our hearts into one space, one love, and in that, making this a timeless reading for whenever you access it, and so that it's always going to be coming to you exactly at the moment that you need to hear it. And and we're calling in the ancestor spirits, white eagle, white buffalo, cattleman, since since I had my whole spiel. And Saint Germain. Definitely Saint Germain is really critical right now. All right, so what fairy do we have? Ooh. So we've got He of the Fiery Sword, number 4. So this is all about, like speaking truth and like having this sort of courage and clarity to share that truth with others. And it could be to do with some writing, because a lot of the time people kind of equate their pen to their sword, because you can create or distract with your words. Our words are powerful creation tools. And with the 4 there, 4 is a very strong number of foundations and building foundations. So I feel like, like building new foundations with new words, with new ways of speaking, but also with the fiery, right? I feel like this is like, it's kind of like what I was said at the beginning about, because swords, right, in typical tarot is air, right, which is Aquarius. And then we've got the fire of Leo. So it's like kind of like mixing together again that fire to like be sharing something passionate that's very authentic with the world. So I don't feel like personally that this energy is exclusive to this week by any means, but I feel like it's just something that is like emerging. It feels like it's an emerging energy. And it's a really good time to start thinking about planning your vision and how you want to plan your vision. And that can be scary, and that's a part of the reason why it's so important to take a step back from being really busy right now and rest, because it's hard when you're making like a lot of people are making really big, profound changes or planning towards making really big, profound changes the first half of this year. So, you need to have like a little bit of space. You need to have a little bit of space and step back from like all the cultural, like normal way of thinking and like the cultural mass consciousness in order to have these like, these very clear insights and internal passions rise from within you, from your truth that you didn't even know were there because you've just been like so cloaked by all these like cultural things like phone beeps going off every 20 minutes and computers and kids and obligations and jobs and whatever shows you watch, whatever other, social media you do. And like people have just never been more distracted. And it's really a bit of, to be honest, like it's had its merits. But right now, one of the biggest challenges people are going to have is like learning to be ultra disciplined in terms of like letting a lot of things kind of like go because of like a very clear intention and stepping back in order to like come to that. So I just feel like this is a kind of like an overall energy that's really important, that's emerging. And it kind of looks at the top like there was like it kind of looks almost like this was like an eclipse here at the top, right above this sword. So, and this sword kind of looks like it has butterfly wings. So it really speaks of like the transformation that's the foundation of which is now being built just post this past lunar eclipse. And so what else do we have? Right. It's funny, I've got like the Lovers and the Hierophant there and the pre-shuffle. Relationships. Yeah, there might be, people, um, people coming into your life again, wanting to kind of, people that were very strong, maybe too strong. Maybe people that were deceptive in the past, overly controlling of a situation. Could have been like a twin flame or a soulmate. And maybe kind of like, maybe they like, you thought they were gonna like leave a certain situation for you, but maybe they didn't. But that might be like popping back up again, and you kind of have to like ask yourself if you really want to go there. Is that something that's really in your highest good? Like if it's really hard sometimes when you like or I should just say have felt so strongly about a person, and maybe in some cases still do. And for some people, some people, it's different for everyone. It really comes down to, if this person's really treating you the way that you deserve, and if they're willing to collaborate with you. But I know in a lot of like cases with twin flames, that was not the case at all. So, all right, that's funny. So, yeah, we had the first two cards that popped out was the Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups reversed. So, there's different ways that we could read this, but I mean, this is about, new love. It could be self-love. It could be love with another person. And then over here with the Four of Swords, again, some people see that card as the twin flame card because it's got the 1-1-1-1. But it's also a card of moving, celebrating weddings. So the energy I'm feeling of this isn't negative. It's not like, I see it as really positive. I'm really drawn to the Four of Wands upright as being like the really most powerful energy. That something like good is coming. Like it's like I think there's some fun in the sun for everyone. Like kind of makes you think like, yeah, okay, so we celebrated, we were successful at something that we've been working hard on. And now we're gonna go like have a vacation. And like maybe this like reverse, just like that this situation isn't really new anymore. It's moving towards not, it was new love, but maybe it's actually moving towards something. That's not a normal way of reading this card, by the way, but I'm just kind of feeling that maybe it's sort of like something is becoming grounded, right? I mean, upright, this card is really beautiful because it's like filling, it's like it's filling your cup overfloweth, right? But there's something kind of like, it's almost like when it's poured over, it's like you're offering that out. And it's not just about like your cup overfloweth with self-love anymore, but it's like kind of like sharing it and sharing it in a partnership. That's something that you're celebrating. So I think that's really beautiful. And then underneath the deck was Page of Wands. So some sort of communication, I think, coming forward. That's like part of that whole some sort of new connection, new love, moving towards the next step. What else? The overall energies for this week. Yeah, that card wanted to show itself before too. What else? And what else? Okay. So we've got here the Four of Swords reversed. combined with the High Priestess, combined with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So, yeah, it's like, I feel like this whole Four of Swords reversed is speaking very strongly to this whole, like there's a very strong need to rest. It's like, and through that resting, it's just emphasizing all of this gold. And it's really emphasizing like retrieving this sort of golden sword, the sword of Excalibur, and is what I feel like, which is like got all that like golden wisdom, like really like the keys to that unlock that, even that maybe in some cases some ancient wisdom. I feel like mystical wisdom as well, I'm hearing coming through. That's like really going to be very illuminating, very full of blessings and gifts is what I'm hearing. But there's a need for like really intense stillness in order for that to kind of come about and to like receive all of that and these golden codes, and like these, a lot of this is coming through from the sun, right? So it's deep, deep, deep rest, which is why it's reversed. But I think it's part of what's like leading to like all of this good stuff. And why this cup is overflowing, why it can now be shared. Part of what's going to be shared is these beautiful codes, this sword of Excalibur, sovereignty. So, hey Perla, thanks for joining. And then we've got the High Priestess and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like, I've actually realized lately a lot of time a card is reversed in my mind is because of the fact that it's more to do with inner than it is with outer. Now with the Pentacle suit, because it's such a physically oriented suit, it's a little bit different, but how I kind of see it in my mind is that there's some new, like all of like this is leading towards sort of the fulfillment of really stepping into this role of High Priestess and like becoming more, I guess, psychic, having those abilities more fully activated, being a more powerful intuitive, having the higher self more fully integrated, and being able to express that directly from the heart, which is all really, really amazing. And I think that's going to like, ultimately it's going to lead to some sort of new opportunity. But I just think the reason why it's reversed is because there might be a little bit of a delay before that fully shows up in the physical. Because again, we're just looking at a week here. So this might not show up like this week. It might take a couple of weeks. It might take a little longer than that. But it's leading towards it. It's certainly leading towards it. And that offer might also have to do with, this overall energy, which is like such a beautiful way of starting the reading. And and I do think ultimately it's all, because we've got these two like exciting offers, these two gifts. I feel like it is going to lead to something celebratory in the end. So let's see what the Akashic Tarot has to say for this week about the energies. I know it's kind of hard because these readings are so general, like in terms of like I'm not really getting into signs and like who, giving people specific readings about a specific relationship by sign. And those can be helpful for sure. But this is really just giving you more of a sense of like the overall ascension energy, I guess, and like where things are at. Like if you're kind of, really feeling like this, the intensity, and it's like more than usual, and you're kind of wanting to like really kind of more understand um, things from, I guess, a broader perspective. Like a little bit more of like an eagle eye perspective, because sometimes we need that. Like if you get too caught up overly, like right now is just not the best time in particular to be overly focused on like detail. Like even if like I think a lot of people are still hoping to be, meeting their a divine counterpart, and I think some people certainly are going to be. But it's good to like maintain that like higher ego perspective and not be focused on the minutiae, and really coming into this more profound understanding of like yourself being like your greatest lover and yourself being your greatest family, and believing it and feeling it, and transcending all of this lack. And part of this whole upgrades, all this sovereignty is all about receiving, like basically through that stillness, we're receiving all of those upgrades that we need to transcend all of that old paradigm stuff outside of the system, outside of the everyday world, in our own inner sanctuary. Everything is being healed and fixed. And I do think that has to do with why these cards are reversed, because a lot of these gifts, like I said, they are inner gifts. It's the inner gift of transcending your scarcity programs. It's your inner gift of transcending your lack of self-love. It's all being given, and it's, and through that you're going to be like super balanced, right? Very balanced as the priestess, but also, in partnership with another person. And it might lead to like some changes and a move, to in your life as well. So let's see what the Akashic Tarot has to say about all of this. What do we need to know in our highest good? What do we need to know in our highest good? Okay. One more. What do we need to know in our highest good? Okay. So just off the bat, just from seeing, the underside of the deck, there is a bit of an overall energy, like some people not really being fully on their path, because we've got the Devil reversed and the Ark of Covenant reversed. So there's like a lot of, there's ego that's tripping people up, and sort of like it could be also again why these reverse, and people might be missing these gifts that I'm speaking about that are being offered right now. So yeah, I mean, and there could be new opportunities that could also be missed, externally as well, because of this like ego stuff, and like not really going in and connecting with the higher self and that soul aligned path. But just to quickly go over, we've got One of Keys, the Architect. So again, that is very similar. It's pretty much the same card as the Ace of Pentacles, although it does have a different meaning in this deck. So, but what's interesting is it's next to Paths Unknown, and Paths Unknown, the light is shining back towards that situation. So something about people's past is needing to be looked back on in terms of like whatever past career they've had. as a potential like path for moving forward. So, which is like some people might not want to hear that. And also can specifically, I think it's hilarious for me because my past career is in landscape architecture. So, and I actually just bought some planting design books that were like the kind of planting design I've always wanted to do, but haven't really had the opportunity to do. So maybe it's like, I hope it's a message for you guys too. But like, this is, just all about like really stepping into a role of more authority, whatever it is you're doing. And it does often have a lot to do with like building projects, but it doesn't have to be. And so, but just anything where you're like more out there in a position of authority. And a lot of these upgrades, I think, are to like prepare for like going back to that, but bringing a lot of new energy with it. And, to do things a little differently and to have, bring a lot of light to places that don't necessarily have a lot of light, that need this new energy, that need this higher kind of spiritual perspective and love and heart. And so the next card is Six of Roses reversed, which is better reversed. It's kind of saying like there was a battle going on and that battle is kind of ended. And now this like white flag of peace reigns over the scene. And it's also, they call it the War of the Roses, which is never good because roses are really all about love and connection. But I think it's actually really good that this is showing up reversed, because whether this was like an ex-partner or a twin flame, soulmate, soul partner connection, whatever the case is, like whatever battle was going on is done. So like, hallelujah. I think that's really, really great to hear. And I think that's part of what's bringing in this like balance and stability and this opportunity to move into something new. And what do you know? We've got fated meeting. So seeing fated meeting with Four of Wands is very, very encouraging. So especially since she looks like kind of like a bride and he looks kind of like a groom. And this card is all about like meeting somebody that's very, very important to you, and maybe one of the most important connections in your life that's comes together at a, destined divine timing. So I think, again, it's like, all right, I'm hearing, I just like, honeymoon, anyone? Let's go somewhere tropical. Like, it's like, that's where I'm at. I don't know about you guys, but so the next card is the Sands of Time reversed, Six of Scrolls, and reversed. This card is all about like you have more time than you think to get things done, which is great because it's really stressful to see this card upright, because upright it's like you gotta like work so hard and like keep going and the job's not done yet and you better work your ass off because you're on a deadline. It's like, no thank you, not right now. But here I think it's just affirming that like there's some very, very important stuff happening right now in terms of all of these like upgrades and all of this like these inner gifts to like really solidify us in our divine feminine and becoming those divine feminine Christ. It's like very, very important to be anchoring that energy in right now and to take this stillness to do that, to become sovereign, to become like Rhiannon. I've been getting that card a lot lately, the lovely Celtic goddess of Avalon. So it's just, confirming like, yes, okay, there's new projects coming up. Be aware, stay open to opportunities. Be sure to look to your past for your future when it comes to your career and how you can bring your soul purpose to that past career and how those two can blend some way. And don't stress too much about figuring it out in like a week or a few days, because you have a little bit of time to do this and allow this all to just, allow God to lead it, allow God to have a plan for you. And who knows, like I feel like, like it's probably, this doesn't feel like a 1 week reading to me, because you're probably not going to just jump right out of like this old energy of, all of a sudden like things are just ended with a battle with another person that you've been struggling with for a while. And all of a sudden, like, you're just about like starting your, it's like, okay, well, then I'm just going to meet this other person, get married and get hitched. I mean, who knows? It could all happen that fast, but we'll see. Again, with you have more time than you think. I think that this is maybe more than a week. It's a bit of it feels like a bit maybe of a longer term forecast. So what else? I just want to pull so many cards. What does Magical Dimensions have to say about all of this, about all of these energies? What does the Magical Dimensions Oracle want to say? Ooh, beautiful. Heart portal. Yeah. Receptivity, generosity. It's so, heart healing is so important right now. I've custom crafted a very powerful heart healing flower essence formula that has been really, really, really beautiful for myself. And it's going to be beautiful with whoever I share it with, and, customized to their needs. But either way, it's just a gorgeous formula that so helps to connect to this softness in the heart. And that's really what this green and this pink together is it's really all about, like bringing that energy of like Gaia into your open heart after you've removed all of the shields, and mixing that beautiful pink earth energy with the emerald energy of your heart, of your emerald gateway to your higher self, to the new earth. And really, like, it's it's just really like important to be solidifying a new way of being right now, where we are always in this soft, yummy, receptive, inviting, warm, open heart portal, because that's how we're going to manifest. It's part of how we're going to manifest. We also manifest with our womb and with, our holy fluids that are being purified right now, but in tandem with this open heart. So very, very important to spend time forgiving. You can do Ho'oponopono as a way of forgiving. You can just cry if you need to, as a way of forgiving and releasing. You can write in a journal if that helps. You can contemplate. There's all different ways you can work through releasing whatever shielding you have around your heart, so that you can return back to your original heart state of just feeling good. And that's really, I think, going to be, I really feel like it's going to take you from like this energy of like this old kind of like war that's, peace has now reigned over the scene. It's now finished, and opening the heart, and it's going to draw in that vibrational match, that vibrational partner, which is going to lead to something really good, right? Potentially something that is a commitment, a celebration, maybe even a true divine partnership. So what else? Pull an Avalon card, and then maybe we'll call it a day. Almost at 45 minutes. Let's see. Maybe I'll pull a Lemurian card too. Let's see. we have from the Avalon Oracle? Yeah, I'm really feeling strongly like strengthening whatever this new, I do feel like this is a new connection for a lot of people. Um, I really do. Or it could be, that somebody, again, you'll have to use your discernment. If somebody from your past that you felt a strong connection with really like put you a second fiddle and didn't put you first, you really have to ask yourself if you honestly think that's going to change if they were to come back. Or it could be, somebody new. But if somebody from your past where things haven't worked out, but they were treating you more nicely, but they just like for other reasons it hasn't been this like deeper soul bond yet, but they're still generally speaking have been like nice to you, and then that's different. So again, I'll let you weigh that if this is somebody new or old based on that. But with Hearthkeeper, it's like I really feel, after this card about, kind of like the wedding card, it's like new family, like this is all about like reestablishing that important role of mother and revaluing the importance of really caring for the home in addition to like our work responsibilities as a feminine. But the divine feminine is really very she's more deeply involved with family and caring for children and caring for the home. She has more of a balance between these things. She's not, it's hard to do that when you are working, in a traditional, format that was made for when it was like just men working, especially in certain industries that used to be male dominated. So, but again, it's kind of funny because it's like, it's saying that, but at the same time, I think I know a lot of people like have had careers where, they haven't really been able to like fully express their feminine. So it just feels like there's something shifting and opening up to bring more of this divine feminine energy to these places where it was not really open and receptive or welcome yet. And also allow for this balance where like the home life is also respected. Like the ideal, what really I think a lot of women have probably always wanted but have not yet been able to achieve. And somehow through like this heart portal and creating the vision of what you really want, and being a little bit being idealistic about that, being able to it just feels like being able to kind of have it all, like an energy of being able to draw in really exactly that life that you want and really have it all, which is great. Let's do an energy oracle and a Lemurian, and then maybe we're done. Maybe. I'm just really liking pulling cards tonight. I'm just having fun. It's important to have fun. So, and I know it's like, yeah, it's maybe a little bit random, but I'm having fun. So, and I hope you're having fun. So, what do we need to know from Energy Oracle? What do we need to know in our highest good? Yeah. Angel of Love, heart chakra reverse. So definitely there's a connection between this angel of love coming in to help heal the heart, to like really bring in this, I think, this new partnership or this new level of relationship, either way. So what do we need to know in our highest good? What do we need to know? We need to know. Oh, 2. Wow. So yeah, this is definitely those Aquarian energies coming through. The thinking woman combined with 7th chakra Archangel Uriel. So yeah, like this is all about like learning new things and like studying, being more intellectual. There might be a woman coming into your life that's, teaching you something, or you just like engaging more deeply in study. Like I said, I just got those new plant books, but there could be even like totally new things that you might want to study that you haven't studied more in depth before. So again, that's a lot of this, I think, whole Aquarian energy coming through of like innovation and new. And also, with the seventh chakra, it could be to do with studying something around, psychic abilities or mediumship, and or channeling, and learning more about that and bringing that through. Or both. Like you could be like studying something not to do with that, and also like be amplifying it through your psychic abilities. Like for instance, when I did like my current formula of flower essences for myself, I channeled it basically in meditation. Like I asked, in doing this essence kind of meditation, like what I needed. And so I just let the names of the plants come to me. And so it was like clear, given to me through my clear audience. And then I went and I looked at the book, and I was like, a couple of the plants I already knew well because I'd taken them before. But then some of the others I hadn't, but I just figured, you know what, these just feel like exactly the right thing. And so I looked at the book and I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And they were like the exact right plants. Like there was one where I wanted to debate like if I wanted to like cut it out, because typically only do 5 essences in a formula, and there was a 6th. And my intuition was just like, no, just put all of them in. But then I like whatever, I like muscle tested on it, because again, just because of like what I had been taught. I was taught better to just do 5. And I was like, no, like, so like we can really get to that place of like having just like knowing and just being given like insights about exactly what we need when we have our channels open. And I think that really speaks to like being able to do that and have this really open, crown chakra to amplify whatever it is you're studying or learning or growing is like a huge asset. And it's going to be really part of how we come up with like new ideas, and not just constantly, regurgitating the same old stuff out of this old fear-based paradigm. Again, like bringing in these really golden ideas, sword of Excalibur, sovereign ideas that will help us bring us back into our sovereignty, and channeling those through and applying that to all of our studies. And yeah, I just feel like the fact that we've also got like the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel with High Priestess, it's like really powerful. A lot of intuition and psychic abilities could be opening up, and again, that's could be something ultimately that does lead to other new opportunities on the outside. But I think right now it's more of this major like new gifts that are being offered on the inside, and it's going to reflect on the outside, particularly with regards to like some sort of a relationship. And anyway, yeah, some sort of a relationship that probably has to do with family and heart healing. So, all right. So, oh yeah, I was gonna do a Lemurian card. All right. Hey, Michelle and Michelle, thanks for joining, guys. It's good to have you here. Hey, Audrey. I don't know if I seem more laid back than usual tonight. I've just been like a lot on a slower pace than normal. Still, doing my daily responsibilities and taking care of my daughter, but like, just like my mind has been freed really from a lot of a lot of my old anxieties and worries and old negative like thought patterns that would come in, and like really having a lot of those old anxieties, worries, fears, and programs just like going and being deleted. And it's nice. It's really, really nice and new. And I'm excited to see where that goes, because we do create our world with our thoughts. And if my thoughts are feeling kind of mellow and good and peaceful, then it should ultimately kind of result with reflecting a more peaceful outer reality as well. Although my reality is not unpeaceful, but just more, maybe more connected with the true nature of that I am. So what message do we have from the Lemurian Oracle to finish off this reading? Yeah. Stepping stones. Oh, whoops, I dropped it. It says, take the next step, let go of the old paradigm. And there's a dragon on the card. And there's stepping stones to a gateway. Yeah. So beautiful. So this feels very much like, you know, jumping in, like moving toward, like really like letting go of all that old stuff, moving towards the new. It's a very different reading from last week, you know, a lot lighter, a lot more positive. I think a lot of that heavy energy that was kind of coming up is like really finishing clearing out, if it hasn't already, with this War of Roses reversed. And you know, it just, I am, you know, it might still seem scary for some people to be letting go of the old paradigm, and there might still need to be a little bit of like death energy, you know, not a real death, but just like a real like slowing to a stop to like fully embody what's needed in order to fully let go of the old. But I think it's there. It's just funny because I feel like there's a paradox between letting go of the old paradigm and then going back to it in order to bring it light. And it's been coming up a lot. And that's why I think this whole message about, you know, you've got more time than you think, because to really understand what it is that it means to really do that and to be in 5D in the new earth and still be amongst other peoples and cultures and old ideas and old beliefs and old paradigms, and like interjecting this new with that, and helping other people to really let go of the old paradigm. And so, and it's almost like part of this on a more esoteric level, like, because this looks to me like stepping stones to this little like bridal area, this wedding area in a warm place. Like, can I go to this sunny destination, please? Oh my God, I want to go. And, but it's like literally like marrying, I think marrying new earth in a way, like marrying, and the high priestess likes that. She says yes to that, like really marrying our commitments to new earth. And through that, we can, you know, commit to our, you know, embodying this higher self and embodying that like partnership, that relationship that is really based in this like one, this like one heart, one soul, one body, one mind, and with, you know, our higher self and with God. So, you know, it's like we jump and we're gonna, you know, spread it. We're gonna share it with others and we're gonna spread it. And something about, like I said, this, I'm sure this meeting, this fated meeting, is gonna be important crux point, turning point in all of this as it unfolds with another person. So, because this is definitely, you know, more about, I mean, this could be seen esoterically as a destined meeting with your higher self. But I feel like with these two together, it's more than that. It's also some sort of physical meeting that's coming up with a counterpart. And that's why we really need to, heal our heart so that you can connect on your most soft, loving, true, authentic self with that person without any, residual scars or roughness around your edges. And it's going to make it all the sweeter and all the better. And more amenable to just unfolding as it is meant to. So here we are. I'm at an hour. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Don, for joining. And I am sending you all lots of love. And yeah, if you have any questions about this reading, if it resonates, if you're feeling lost, because I haven't been around as much giving as many updates, let me know. I don't really know what other stuff you guys are watching or who you guys are. You're always going to come across whoever you're resonating with in terms of readings. And if something's not resonating, you'll, move on. But I know that for anyone that is kind of like getting this and really sticking with this, and even if you like maybe are a little feeling a little lost, that like this is really like the leading edge of this wave of people that are going through this reconnection with their higher self and like with the counterpart. And it's from this really higher place where we've transcended all of the negative, all of the, healed all of the inner child stuff, healed all of the past, healed all of our old negative beliefs, and like really like creating some amazing new stuff in this new earth paradigm, and with a sacred beloved partner and sacred partnership. So I mean, it's amazing what's really unfolding now. And the high priestess says yes. She just nodded. She's like yes to that. So I love it. Sending you lots of love. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll, try and be back. I really don't know what my energy levels are going to be like this week. I've never, like, I think that like I'm at a turning point into like, into that getting more back online to be able to move forward more quickly. But it might still be like it might still be a little longer. So, but if I can, do more for you guys, I will try and be back before next week. All right. Sending you lots of love. Namaste.